take the ride. Take the ride. For more fun, you better subscribe. You never won't miss the vibe. Looking for a good time. Hatcher on YouTube, dropping truth and rhyme. Passion for magic, he's playing the cards right. Live stream so funny, keeping us more fun, you better subscribe. You never want to miss the vibe.
Always doing it sunny side up. It's the hen. What's up, my friends? How you doing? Is everything still... No, okay, it is. It is set up right. Me and Carly were recording a video earlier today about the best movies of 2024 that we watched, not like the actual year 2024 in terms of movies that came out in 2024, just during this year, movies that we watched. So it made me want to make a stream talking about the actual best movies of 2024. So that's what we're here for. And lamentably, it looks like the video that me and Carly recorded didn't turn out right. It had a camera issue. So we're both disappointed, and we're going to have to go back to the beginning and start again, which is genuinely unfortunate. But sometimes you have production issues and you got to deal with them. So it is what it is. Anyways, let me grab the live stream link and I will share that in the Discord, and then we will go from there. All right. Okay. There we go. That is done. It's so empty behind me. I know, because we were recording in that space behind me. So had to move everything out of there. And that was just recently. So a couple hours ago. The stuff hasn't been put back. And now I'm glad, because we're just going to set it up again tomorrow to record that stuff again. So, what's up? Let's see who we got in here and do our hellos. What's going on? Gossett, Eng, Kensuke, Jess, Millmaster, Teferi, Zircon, Gerthulu, Joe, Jojo, Huckleberry, Yamagoro. Who else we got in here? Shelton, Nishimoto, Potts, Everyday. What's up, my friends? You having a good day? Oh no, I think I just clicked on... Yeah, I did. I just clicked on Chandelar by accident down at the bottom here. When you run Chandelar, it changes the aspect of everything, the aspect ratio on your computer. It's really annoying. It's so... anytime I click on it, there's that, oh no, there's no way to stop this from happening. It's about to happen. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. Huckleberry, do they even make good movies anymore? You haven't seen anything that would be considered worthy? See, I did think about that. Part of the thing is me and Carly have been watching movies across a whole bunch of different years. Because we're just looking to watch what's good. You know? We're just looking to see what's enjoyable across everything now, because with the internet you can just check everything out. And I don't hear about a lot of the projects that are happening in 2024 until they're over, because I don't know, man. I used to be in the loop for this kind of stuff back in the day, because they would play ads on radio and television and I would see them, right? But the internet is just this big thing where a bunch of people can be talking about something and you don't even know. There could be millions and millions of people talking about this thing right over here. You have no idea, right? So, I don't know. I don't actively go and check out movie trailers, so I don't know what's coming. And a lot of stuff that they're making feels like it's all just empty nonsense. Just remakes and spin-offs and reboots and just, not that much new that's exciting. There's some stuff that's pretty decent. You know, like the new Deadpool movie was fun. So it's not like there's nothing coming out, but I feel you. It feels harder to find good movies, you know? Every day, I wish I could use my influence for the resolution of the goodness, man. Rex, new cards came in the mail and you're excited? Hell yeah, buddy. Nishimoto, you can't get Chandelar to run? Yeah, it can be tricky. It can be tricky. Garthula this year was pretty bad for movies. So many garbage films came out. Yeah, it's easy to find garbage movies. There's no problem. If you like to talk about garbage movies, any of that. But genuinely good movies, they're few and far between. Rex, you want to see... Oh, yeah, I mean, that's a bunch of Daft Punk music videos, though, right? Just put together. So, that's all right. I remember those. Everyday Star Wars Skeleton Crew isn't too shabby. I haven't heard of that one. Is that a movie? Gianna, you're glad you never thought about that 20 Ways to Win deck? Unless you want all those individual cards, that's what you're buying. You're just buying a pile of random cards, right? Everyday Venom 3 was jorked and jagged. I'm not surprised, bro. I saw the first Venom, and the first Venom wanted to be really edgy with like the check it out, Venom bites people's heads off and it's intense, but he like does it off screen, right? Like you don't see it happen and you're just like, okay. It's like, trust us. He's being a badass over here where you can't see. And it's like, okay. All right. And the suit and him are talking and it's like, we're both losers. And it's like, what is this? What the hell is this? Aren't you an alien symbiote? And like, I don't know. I saw the Venom movie and was completely underwhelmed. So if the first one is like, meh, the next ones are going to be awful, right? They're not going to get better, man. They're not going to get better. Skeleton Crew is a Disney series. Oh, okay. Gianna, why is there nothing in the background? It's barren. Because it moved everything for me and Carly to record earlier. So that's where we had our setup for recording, talking about movies today. And the footage is unusable, which is bullshit. Because it's like 45 minutes worth of stuff that we had recorded. And it's all gone. So now we have to do another version of it. Which, fine. But whatever. It's annoying. You know? Exactly. Retire. Venom should have been rated R. Like, they wanted to give you that rated R vibe. But they didn't have the... They didn't have the confidence to go for it, or they were just worried that they wouldn't get to sell as many tickets, and they wanted to go for a wider audience, obviously with the PG rating, right? Every day, hell yeah, buddy. I'm glad you're enjoying it, my man. Larry, what's up, bro? So, yeah, it was annoying to realize that what we recorded is no good, because we had a good time with it. And, yeah. Back to the drawing board. It happens. It happens. It's the nature of things. So, yeah, I didn't move anything back. I didn't feel like it. I guess I could move this a little bit closer if that makes it. There you go. There's something. And here you go. Hold on. There you go. There you go. There's a little less blank space, empty area. Oh, well, okay. Jess and Bill, you guys are having your own private conversation. Have fun with that. Have fun with that. Shelton, you didn't see many movies this year. Last year you saw over 20. Well, why didn't you see as many this year? Were there not as many good movies? Or did you stop going for other reasons? Like, I loved going to the movies. There's a bunch of different parts of it, I suppose. One is the social aspect, right? Where you're going with friends most of the time. You can go to the movies by yourself, but a lot of the time you're going to the movies with somebody. So you're going to have an experience with somebody. And, obviously back in the day, you just had to pick from what movies were there. There was no, you have everything on earth and all these different services and crazy new amounts of stuff being cranked out every day. You'd go to the theater and I'm going to guess like there'd be maybe 10 different movies for you to pick from. Those were the movies that were available. So you'd go and you'd pick a movie, and you could usually just go to the theater and there'd be a movie worth watching. Like some of them wouldn't be so good, but there'd usually be movies worth watching. Something, right? You didn't have to check ahead of time. And then after a while, it started to get more dicey with the good movie offerings. So you have to check the listings before you go. So you start doing that. And then after a while, you stop checking the listings when you don't find anything. Time and time again, you just forget to even check. And then the movie experience has gone by the wayside. But, back in the day, just going, chilling, sitting there in the dark with your big thing of popcorn, your pop, whatever other treats you want, hanging out with friends or your lady or whatever, watching a film was a good time. And now going to the theater is good, but it's not this singularly unique experience, because you can just watch the movies at home now very easily in the exact confines that you want. You're in control of all the conditions essentially. So if you go to the theater and you're just getting a better deal out of the experience, then great. But if you feel like you're annoyed by people sitting there looking on their cell phones, or the crazy amount of money it costs to go, things like that, then, doing it at home seems easier and wins in a lot of ways, but it's not the same experience in other ways. Gerthul, you'd be certain there are less than enough movies for a top 10 good movies this year. You'd have to dig for it. I believe it, honestly. I don't think that they've had a banger movie come out every month this year, right? Every day you just got back into going to movies with friends, then dinner afterwards to talk about the movie. Nice. That's all right. That's a good time, actually, when you're going to go afterwards to actually chill and chat about the movie and enjoy a meal. That's an overall good vibe. I enjoy that. Rex, you missed the promotion where you could get Tuesday movies for $5. Hell yeah. I remember when you could go to the one theater for $2. $2 movies at this one old theater. That was amazing. That was awesome. But, they don't have that one anymore. All the old deals are gone, and now the new deals are like, they're still pretty pricey, but give it time and they'll feel cheap in comparison. Joe, movies are like magic today. Prices have gone up and quality has gone down for the most part. That feels fair. That does feel fair. Everyday sneaking in snacks. I like to get popcorn and pop at the theater, but yeah, I like to bring in my other stuff myself. I don't want to buy like an overpriced box of chocolates or something like that. I can just throw those in my pocket. No worries. That's about it. Yeah, McGraw, you found buying the Blu-rays the same price as a single theater ticket, and you can pause the disc for bathroom breaks or whatever. Yeah, I mean, there's so many advantages to being able to watch it at home. It's significantly slanted in that favor, and that's evident by the fact that theaters aren't like constantly packed at all times doing banger numbers. If they were, that would be more of an indication that people, hey, watching at home is all right, but going to the theater is the best. So I like it. Like, I still like going to the theater, but the experience is becoming more of a mixed bag, right? Larry, you want to see Gladiator 2, but your area is supposed to get a heavy snowfall? Well, you got to go fast. Gianna, you need to watch the Super Mario Brothers movie. It's all right. It's got some nostalgic Mario references. I don't remember any of the movie. It didn't stick with me. It's one of those where it's like, I experienced it, and I'm like, I got a bunch of references, but ultimately it was like nothing for me, you know? Yeah, that's true, Mailmaster. Most of the movie theaters are gone. The pandemic really destroyed them. I mean, who could predict that your business wouldn't be able to operate for like years? You know what I mean? Like, there you go. Guess what? Surprise! So, that obviously hastened the decline. But yeah, you know what? I still like, every once in a blue moon, I still like to get out to the theater when it feels like it's going to be a movie that's worth it, or the I just get the bug where it's like, I really want to go to the movie theater. I'm going to pick a movie. That happens. Not with much frequency anymore, but it does happen every once in a while where specifically it's like, yo, I'm going to go to the movies. And most of the time it turns out to be a middle of the road experience. Like seeing Black Adam in the theater. The movie, it sucked, but the theater was comfortable. It was nice. It was a good, genuinely pleasant overall experience. So I was like, okay, this isn't too bad. Nishimoto, you like the Peaches song from Mario? Yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard it. Larry, yeah, you got to play that fun game of what service, what service provider, what streaming service has the movie I'm looking for. You just got to wander around. Gerthul, I agree with you. The Super Mario movie could have been so much worse than it was. Absolutely, right? We could have got some insanity like the first Super Mario Brothers movie, which was crack-headed nonsense, bro. That movie was crazy. It was just like, okay, what are we going to do here? Let's bring in Dennis Hopper and let's have crazy de-evolution rays and all this other insanity. It was so ridiculous. Everyday Red Zone, Moana 2, and Wicked are some of the currently playing movies. Like two of those are aren't those? I guess those are all kids movies, aren't they? Red Zone is what? The Rock in a tight Santa shirt, something like that. Rex, you like to sneak in mall food, Asian food, and pizza into movies? Nice. Carly likes to bring in like ice cream sundaes from Dairy Queen. Just the 3D animated Mario with Chris Pratt was boring. It was kind of just okay. Yeah, you know what? I feel you. The story didn't jump out at me. It didn't leave any lasting impression. I just remember when I was watching it, some pleasant, nostalgic memories of things they did in the movie to be like, remember? This is like the game, right? So I definitely enjoyed that aspect of the film, but found it to just be, whatever. Everyday says Netflix Canada has Gladiator and Paramount Plus in Canada. Well, that's both Canada, isn't it? That's two ways to get it in Canada, you're saying? Netflix and Paramount? Gotta use a VPN. That's how you hide where you're from, man. It's crazy how that works, right? Where just the regional lock all these different things where it's like, yeah, you can watch this on the internet, but you can't watch this on the internet because it's geographically locked to this area in the physical world. It's like, it's just the internet. Let me see it. Let me see it. It's like, so no, you're not on the right landmass. It's like, come on, man. What is this? What is this? Millmaster, some countries it's illegal to even use a VPN. Yeah, I guess they got different internet laws in different places, right? But I get it. People want access to programs they can't normally get. Oh man. Oh. The movie looked really good. Yeah, well, that's true, Jess, as well. The Super Mario Brother movie looked very nice. It had the shiny, sleek look. It looked like it was supposed to, right? It was definitely like high high pay animation, but it didn't leave you feeling anything afterwards, really. But hey, I mean, for a kids movie, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Bar's pretty low for kids movies, man. That's the thing that's going on with a lot of movies, right? They have just like super high budgets, and then you just see like so much going on the screen, and crazy world-ending events with monumental amounts of individuals on the screen fighting and lasers and all these black holes and deviltry and everything, and you're like, what is this madness? Like, there's so much going on, and I guess it'd be more impressive if it was like, if it felt like it meant anything. But practical effects versus I like the CGI stuff. I really like old practical effects. Sometimes they don't look the best. You have to be real. Sometimes you can make things visually look better with CGI, but it doesn't resonate the same way, you know? Hey, Kentucky with the cool guy glasses sticker. Thanks, bro. You're Lord of the Board. Jess, Bill and Ted Face the Music made you cry because you were feeling so much joy at one point, which is weird for you. Well, that's got to be nice, man. Honestly, like overwhelming with emotion and feeling that way, where you get like weepy with happiness, that's a rare feeling. It is to be treasured, right? As long as it's not a medical problem. But yeah, like how often does that happen? Like, for example, I watched that movie and I didn't feel weepy. I felt mostly mildly disinterested by the movie. I liked the original Bill and Ted's movies, right? So for me, I watched it and was just like, eh. That was most of the reaction I got from me. Kind of a resounding shrug. Larry, that's why you love having a physical DVD collection. Yeah, I mean, streaming is super convenient, right? And online stuff is convenient until you can't actually access it. It gets locked behind regional restrictions or a bunch of extra costs. Having the actual physical stuff is great from that perspective. Every day, yeah, where are the new stories? Exactly, man. That's what we need. We need more original ideas now. We need new concepts. Something interesting. Like everything that's being copied now, it's like was original once, and it succeeded in part because of its originality. I think a big issue is the size of budgets that's put into things, where you can put a half, like, what is it? Like $500 million into a movie to make it and do like all your marketing and stuff. And then that movie can make $1 billion and be considered a failure. And it's like, what? And it's like, you made like $500 million. And it's like, this is a failure. All our time and money and everything, and we don't come out ahead. It's like, how does this work? This is insane. How do you expect to actually have any movie be genuinely successful, you know? Some of the stuff that comes out as a result of things that are pre-existing, it's not all bad. Like, you guys clued me into the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, and I watched it last night, and it's fucking great. Like, it's genuinely awesome. I was like, this is really entertaining. It made me laugh at multiple points during it. Like, it's just fun. I like the way they did it. It's not what I was expecting, but I was definitely pleased. Every day, yeah. I mean, why not just focus in on the exact movies you want to be owning? Having a collection of a bunch of movies you have no interest in having, like you don't want to watch, is just stuff you have to move and deal with. Zircon, corporate inability to take risks has been a common theme in the enshittification of everything. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna not. I can't take risks when it comes to $500 million, and then you take no risks, and it's like, why isn't this making money? If they were spending less money and trying creative new ideas, they might theoretically make a bunch of money, but they don't want to take any chances. And it's a diminishing returns kind of scenario we end up in. Mailmaster, Hollywood did what Magic did, keep pissing in the product and expecting the same audiences year over year. Yeah, yep, that's true. Gianna used to live in the largest city in Oklahoma, and there were still zones that had no internet access. It's so wild. I mean, I grew up without internet access, but the idea of not having it now just seems crazy to me. Jess, you don't know if you've seen it? Yeah, if you haven't seen it, get the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. It's genuinely enjoyable. I was surprised by how much I liked it. It's like 45 minutes or whatever, So it's not too super long, but it's also longer than the short stuff. What up, Thompson? Yeah, you agree about the CGI stuff? You're watching some of the older Russian and Romanian movies from the 50s to 80s about medieval Russian or Rus and Wallachian history. All right. Fair enough, man. I mean, it would be pretty lame to watch medieval history and they just do it with garbage CGI. And you're like, but you can just make this stuff. You can make this stuff. Why? Why are you doing this? Edward, you watched Abigail and you liked it. I enjoyed Abigail as well. Did that come out in 2024? I don't actually know the year of release of that movie, but yeah, that's an enjoyable one. Not too shabby. Millmaster, what? Are you talking about more Shogun? Thompson, instead of showing clips from some of the films, just play the films in their entirety, and then you don't even have to teach because all the time will be taken up by the movies. That's the hack. Every day, why would you be upset that you're gonna watch Gladiator? I've heard that Gladiator 2 is a reasonably entertaining film. So it's not gonna blow you away, but if you have a good time with it, who cares? Not every movie is the most epic movie, right? So I'm all right with movies that are good. They don't have to be amazing. I'm all right with movies that are slightly above okay. My standards have been lowered. I just don't want bad movies, Edward, yep, Deadpool and Wolverine was definitely a fun one this year. There's no doubt in that. I had a lot of enjoyable moments with that one. I still like the first Deadpool the most. I'm not as into the comics like Wolverine and Deadpool. So a bunch of the extra fan service references were lost on me. So I didn't get the same full level experience that people who are right into it get, but just in terms of straight up a movie, all other things outside of that movie not being counted, it's good. It's good. Thompson, you thought about doing that on days you're tired? That's it, man. That's the hack. You sleep on your desk while it plays while it plays the show, and then you get by. Zircon, you watched The Name of the Rose in your medieval history class in university? I remember watching movies in high school. I remember them showing us movies sometimes. Like the old Romeo and Juliet. I remember watching that. And then I remember some episodes of Degrassi Junior High about some chick having AIDS. I'm pretty sure they showed us in school. And Other than that, just like random educational videos. Never watched actual movies. Yeah, definitely not in college. Edward, you missed a bunch of the Easter eggs. Same, man. Same. But that doesn't take away from the movie. Gerthel, you remember watching Cool Runnings a lot in school and you don't really know why. You guess it was one of the movies they had on hand. I don't think I've ever seen Cool Runnings. That's the Jamaican bobsled team movie, right? Every day, remember when you'd see a movie and then you wouldn't know if there'd be a sequel? Like it wasn't an expected thing. Remember when TV stars and movie stars didn't mix two different levels? Yeah! Yes, I do actually remember that. That's true. Once upon a time, it was like movie stars, it was like considered beneath movie stars to be on TV, right? And movie stars were like, we're at the top, we're the best. I do remember that. And yeah, movies, would you just watch a movie and then you wouldn't go, oh, the second one's coming, like guaranteed. They're gonna make 7 of these. It's like, oh, that was cool, right? There weren't like, there weren't always attempts. There was some. I mean, some movies would tease, oh, we're gonna do another one. Oh, here we go again. You know, like someone running the door. Bill, the goat got back out. Oh no! And then the movie just to black, right? Zircon, it was on VHS. Millmaster's an authenticator of Name of the Rose. He's like, I'm an eye investigator. Let me look between them cheeks to verify if you have an original, unadulterated copy of the movie. Oh. Rex, you watched Saving Private Ryan in high school? I liked that movie. I liked Saving Private Ryan. I don't really care about war movies that much, but I genuinely enjoyed that one. What up, Otto? How you doing? Slater was on Archer. Christian Slater was a voice in the Archer cartoon? Man, we're making it through the House series, but it is a slog, bro. Like, some of the episodes have some entertaining stuff, and then the others, they're just turning into background noise, you know? Every day, yeah, you knew there would be more James Bond, right? There were certain series where you're just like, okay, there'll be more movies. But it wasn't like everything was spawning sequels, and it wasn't like there weren't a bunch of different people trying to go, we're going to create these gigantic movie universes. Because, like, Marvel did it, but that's it. That's it. There's no room for anybody else to do it. Like, superhero movies are a fad. The same way, like, the movie industry moved in all kinds of different fads, where for a while they made a ton of Westerns. And then they stopped making Westerns. And it just, they just do that with different things, right? And so Marvel came along and sucked up all the superhero juice, bro. That's it. Like, they went, check it out. Marvel Universe, wow, all these different movies connected, and people go, oh my god, check out with the last 30 seconds of the fucking movie I had Howard the Duck. Oh, my dick's so hard, bro. Hold it, right? So you had like people freaking out, and like the Marvel Universe was awesome at first. It was a really banger concept, and they did well with it. But like superhero movies are fucking played the fuck out now. Like they all fucking suck a bag, and they want to have their own like entire universe. And it's like, you gotta meet Frumpty Doo. No, I don't. I tried watching that Black Adam movie. That movie was fucking horseshit. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad. I couldn't believe just how terrible it was. Like, me and Carly were watching it in the theater. So I would say something, and I'd be like, I can't fucking believe this. Why is this happening? Like, why would you fucking film it this way? Why would you make these choices? And she'd be like, you gotta shut your brain off. And then a minute later, she'd be going, why are they doing this? And I'd be like, you gotta shut your brain off. And so the movie was just us saying that back and forth to each other. That movie was so fucking stupid. So many stupid moments. Why did he leave the tube in his mouth? Why did he leave his tube in the mouth when he's escaping from the underground facility? All he has to do is take the tube out and say Shazam. But he fucking doesn't. Like the dumb dickhead. And like, he's being held in a facility that's meant to contain the most powerful people there are. And like, he's being held inside this water coffin. So he comes out of the water coffin, the alarms go off, and the elite security force they have to keep like these super level criminals and other individuals, these super beings, to keep them under control. The people they send in are regular dudes. They're not superheroes. They're regular dudes with billy clubs. Like, that's who comes in, so that a fucking rock with none of his powers can fight off this fucking goon squad. And it's just like, what? And he keeps the tube in his mouth so that he can run to the water and then start drowning in the water and then take the hose out of his mouth and then just drift up to the top of the water so he can just whisper, Shazam. And it's like, this isn't cool. This isn't cool. Like, you did everything you could and you almost failed. You're an idiot because you never took the hose out of your mouth, you fucking fool. Right? Like, that was so dumb. That was so dumb. That movie started out so stupid with the shit about the enslaved peoples, right? Where they're just mining up the magical metal for that evil warlock dude. And it's just like, okay, what? They're mining up this magical metal for an evil warlock. Okay. And then they're like, you slaves who find it will get an amazing reward. And so, like, the one guy finds some of this super magical metal, but he's got to hide it because everyone around him is like, oh, I got to take it from you. I got to take it from you. And so he gets to the top where the fucking overseer is, and he gives him the magical metal. And he's like, oh, here you go. And the overseer's like, good, go away. And the guy's like, but no, I get a cool reward. And then the overseer's like, you want your reward? And this is what you get. And he just kills the slave and like fires his body over the cliffside over top of like everybody. But they had been mining this stuff for a while, right? So like this doesn't make any sense, man. Like, if you go up there with the metal and you get fucking iced out, then why would everybody be fighting to take the metal from the guy? Nobody would want to go up there. They would just be like, no, I'm not looking for the metal because you kill us when we find it, right? Like, and they've been doing this for a while, so they would all know already if people who found it got killed. So the whole thing makes no fucking sense, and you just go, what? What is happening? That's what happened to Bunch in that movie, and he just floats slowly around, and it sucks. Black Adam is the film that killed the whole Shazam series, as The Rock has in his contract he's not allowed to lose a fight. Well, not having to lose a fight doesn't really bother me that much if it's the way the story's written and whatever. It's like, okay, but that's not what the problem with that movie was. That movie has a ton of problems. James P. What? The 4:30 movie is now available. It's Kevin Smith's latest movie. Never heard of that one. I have not heard of that one yet. Rex, Iron Man 1 will always be your all-time favorite hero movie. You know what, man? Honestly, when it first came out, I kind of waved that movie away. Like, it was not a big deal. Didn't care about it. And then I watched it later and was like, this is a genuinely solid film. It's genuinely good. The whole transformation of Tony Stark, all the suffering that he goes through, and, you know, the work that he puts in to save himself and other people, all of it. It makes for a satisfying story. James P. The shortest answer is always a Kevin Smith movie. With you, that's true. That's true. Jess, actually, yeah, I saw that. I haven't seen that movie, but I saw like the cover of it in passing. My old ass. My old ass. It's it's got that one chick Aubrey Plaza in it, right? And she's like the grown-up version of herself, and a younger version of herself is like talking to her on a trip. The Rock brings wrestling dynamics to movies. You want wrestling dynamics in movies. What the hell is that name of that movie, guys? With fucking, is it They Live or whatever? With Rowdy Roddy Piper. And he can he can see like he can see the real alien controllers with the glasses and stuff. And in like this fucking back alley, he has a real WWF wrestling match with somebody where they're just fucking fighting each other. And at one point, the one guy goes to help the other guy up, but it's really just to pick him up so he can fucking punch him in the head. It's ridiculous. He was watching it and was like, that's insane, man. That's insane. Every day, the Tom Hanks movie, A Man Named Otto. You're thinking about watching that? What's that one about? Edward, you just got them. Yo, you just got They Live on DVD. Nice. Nice. That fight in the alley makes me laugh, bro. Have I ever seen Prince of Darkness or Escape from New York? I've seen Escape from LA. I haven't seen Escape from New York. Prince of Darkness sounds familiar, but I don't know if it's familiar just because I've heard it before or because I've actually seen it. Yeah, no. Definitely have not seen Prince of Darkness yet. Do they have crazy wrestling in them as well? Yeah, Edward, I agree. Story in a lot of movies nowadays is zero. Visual effects are like expected to do all the heavy lifting. Those are other John Carpenter movies. All right. Fair enough. Every day it's a family movie. They Live had a big influence on Saints Row 4. I think I have Saints Row 3. Oh, no, wait, 4. 4 is the one with the, it starts and you're like the president or whatever, and you could just like cure cancer or end world hunger, and you just choose to cure cancer, and then your cabinet member's like, fuck cancer. These are good. These almonds are fucking good, bro. I watched the fucking Raccoons Christmas special last night. I watched the Raccoons as a kid, and I guess I liked it as a kid. I watched the Raccoons Christmas special last night. It's fucking dog shit. It is just awful. I was like, man, I used to watch this. I'm like, what's wrong with that one guy's nose? Does he have a deformity? It's so low quality, man. It's so low quality and fucking boring. Holy shit, was it boring. The pink snork guy. He revved up a chainsaw and he ran He ran down an entire fucking lane of a forest or whatever. Just bam, 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 chopping down a ton of trees. It was insane. It was insane. Yeah, his last name's Sneer, that's true. Was it Cedric Sneer? Yeah, he just cared about lumbering. But yeah, it was just boring. It was just boring. Especially after having just watched the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which was way more zazzle, right? Drax and Mantis together are just like a couple of fucking knuckleheads, and their antics are enjoyable. So that's one I would watch again. Honestly, that one's on the rewatch list, bro. 100% out of the Christmas stuff. The claymation Christmas is not easy to track down, is it? The old California Raisins one. People were mentioning that, but I didn't see it when I was poking around. Millmaster, you didn't grow up in Canada and somehow you saw the raccoons Christmas when you were little? Guess it broke out of the north? Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense. It is just across the border. It's just a TV broadcast away. But yeah, bro. And like, this is the first time I've watched anything of the raccoons in forever. And man, it's dreadful. Just dreadful. So yeah, I don't see myself going back to watch any more raccoon stuff. Doesn't seem likely. It's not really worth it. I do like the quaintness of some of the old specials, but then other ones are just... It's the kind of stuff you can only watch if you have kids who like it, you know? Otherwise, you just sit there and go, this is not keeping my attention at all. Especially now in the days where you can just be like, oh, look, okay, I'm bored. I'm just going to pull out my phone and stare at that instead. It's super easy to do that. So I find myself doing that if we're watching some movie or show that's really garbage. I'll just end up with my phone in my hands or something. Or just my brain zoning out. It's not even worth it. But at least the raccoon special is only 20 minutes long, you know? So there is that. I have yet to let Carly try this bacon chocolate bar. I keep meaning to, but then I leave it on my desk and forget when I walk out of here. Jess, ain't nobody need to be snorting milk, bro. Millmaster, you tried watching the Yogi ones and the Peanuts. It's all basically the same. Your memories are a lot better than what it is in reality. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. If you think about it, like those specials are going to be tied to probably, I mean, depending on what your childhood was like, but for most people, I'm guessing, it's something along the lines of Christmas time was a good time in the household because it was like, oh man, I don't have to be at school and presents are coming and it's a time when family will come by and we'll have dinners together and just overall, it's like a good time. But a big build-up, too, right? Like, Christmas gives you a big, long tug job before it finishes. It's the full deal. It's the full rub and tug experience. You get, like, the full rub down that lasts for days and days and days in terms of, boom, look at how long this has gone for. Well, we're getting more and more hyped for Christmas. And as a kid, the whole shows that you would watch in the background, they're just going to be memories that are associated with that excitement. So they gain specialness by sheer proximity just for existing at the same time. You're having this awesome time, and in the background, the Pink Panther is learning the meaning of Christmas, which is the meaning of love and whatever. And you know what? They had like a meaning kind of aspect to the actual Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, and it was family, and it was fine. There's nothing wrong with having a little heartwarming concept underneath, right? But they can feel pretty ham-fisted. So a lot of the stuff doesn't hold up. The Smurf stuff was only worth watching so I could yell about how they have the power to phase people out of existence. But most of it is like, eh. We all wanted G.I. Joe and Legos. G.I. Joe, Legos, Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Absolutely. Rex, the Nickelodeon Hey Arnold Christmas special. I've never seen that one. I feel like the ones that are going to make you most emotional are the ones that you already watched as a child. And it's more reacting to your own youth and what it was than the actual quality of the show, you know? Joe, you found yourself up 6 a.m, decided to watch Mr. Rogers because it was on, and for nostalgia, it wasn't unwatchable. Yeah, I believe that because Mr. Rogers was a very special program that is timeless, right? Like, it's obviously not a super adult show, but it's also not talking down to and distracting children variety either. So, I don't know. Mr. Rogers seemed like he gave a shit. I really liked his stuff, and I can see it standing the test of time, and you just being like, yeah, this is all right, instead of, yeah, this is awful, right? All I want now is Xbox and Oculus. Well, wait until it's the Xbox 42, and you just install it inside your Turbo girlfriend when you're porking your robot. That's also a trash incinerator, so you can throw your trash inside your own girlfriend. Just Star Wars toys were big when you were a kid? I mean, Star Wars toys have been big for many, many years in different time frames. Maybe not so much now, though. I remember getting an entire like Star Wars base at a church winter bazaar sale. And it had like a self-destruct button so you could push it and the base would like blow up, which I thought was really cool. I got that and some of the little land speeders and some other things. Can't remember what else. I wasn't even that into Star Wars, you know? I just liked the toys. It's like, all right, cool. I got a base that blows up and these little dudes. What level of technology is too much for a Sasquatch? I don't know. Nanobots? Maybe Bigfoot will show up when the technology exists that's sufficiently advanced to make a lady Bigfoot for him. And then he will materialize from the aether. I have come to claim my robo bride. And then the scientists can use that to translocate Bigfoot's essence and sequence his DNA, bro. Jess, you're going to say nukes is too much? So you're saying Bigfoot shouldn't have nuclear armaments? Okay. All right. A no nuke for Bigfoot position. Fair enough. That's pretty silly. That's pretty silly, man. Yeah, I don't think Bigfoot should have the same level of technology as us. Oh, we're gonna sign a treaty with Bigfoot, and we're gonna place strict limitations on his armaments. Unacceptable armaments, Bigfoot. That's funny. How about microwaves? Oh, look, man, who knows what kind of microbes are in a Hot Pocket? If you microwave a Hot Pocket and give it to Bigfoot, you could destroy his insides. And there's no Dr. House for big feet. So, who are you going to call? What, are you going to irradiate his bone marrow yourself? Right? Where are we going to find a bone marrow donor for Bigfoot, bro? Right? Edward, yeah, same time frame as me, bro. 100%. I was young when the original Star Wars movies came out, so I didn't get into them the same way. Rex, you like that How It's Made show? Yeah, bro, it's interesting to see how some things are made. Some stuff is boring, but other things are interesting. The knowledge that mankind has gained in like, oh, look at all the different things we can make, and then figuring out how to make them on a big scale, all this like mass production stuff, it's genuinely impressive. Just there's an estimated 20,000 big feet in North America. Isn't it crazy that there's like 20,000 of them and nobody's ever actually found one? They only ever see them. You want Bigfoot's turbo girlfriend so you can trash inside her, like I said. That's the future. That's the techno future we're going to live in, bro. That's it. Jess, no, but nobody's caught a Bigfoot. They've only looked at him. They've only looked at him and heard the sounds. I know what a Bigfoot call sounds like. How do you know? How do you know? It's like they shot and killed a Bigfoot? Oh, that means 19,999 Bigfoots left in the forest. 19,999 Bigfoots left in the forest. You shoot one down, don't have the body for proof. 19,998 Bigfoots in the forest. It's in Ripley's Believe It or Not. Oh yeah, I choose not. I choose not to believe it, Ripley and Jess. Have I ever heard the recording of possible Sasquatch talking in the wild? Sounds crazy. No, I haven't. I'm sure it'll just be either made up noises or just some other random wild animal noises. And someone will just be like, that's a Bigfoot. No, it's not. What is it then? I don't know. That means it's Bigfoot. No, that's not how it works. Big feet are just shy. It's crazy. There's 20,000 of them. Eventually they'll breed so many, there won't be anywhere left in the forest for them to hide, bro. You know? They'll breed themselves out of obscurity. The noises were taken to voice specialists, and they claim the noises can't be made by human vocal cords, like forensic dudes. What's it like being you, man? They took the noises to these fucking voice forensic genealogist guys, bro. Just listen. They took the noises to this voice specialist guy, and that guy claimed that those noises can't be made by human vocal cords. It's fucking Bigfoot, bro. It's the only explanation. The genealogical, forensic, zoological, cryptozoologist voice analyzer guys said, bro, I know the sound of a Bigfoot beating off, bro. I can tell. I can tell from the sound of the rhythm. It's a giant fucking hand. Listen to that grunting, man. No human can grunt like that. Humans can't make grunting noises like that with their vocal cords, bro. Fucking hashtag Bigfoot confirmed. I'm not going to be able to sleep at night now. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. No masters. When Bigfoot season opened a few months ago, they caught a Bigfoot taking a shit by a tree on video and tried to smoke it. Oh, that's funny. Big feet will continue to live underground? Oh shit, they have like a Mayan underground civilization that they live in? I did not know that. It makes sense though. So then the 20,000 that live in the forest, that's a very conservative estimate, right? There must be like probably about 1 billion Bigfoot in the center of the earth. That's my guess. No human could make these sounds. It's the Bigfoot! He's coming to kiss your mom! It's like, you hear him? That's him fucking tapping on the window. He knows where your mama is, and he's coming for a late night kiss. He's a gentleman, though, so just a kiss. Hyborians live in the earth, and they are also tall. Alright. If you say so. Says, what makes 100% biological sense is that a creature actually living underground needs to be 7 feet tall and have fur. Nothing can live underground without being 7 feet tall and have fur. Music, anyone watch Venom 2? We were talking about Venom 3 earlier, but I've only seen the first Venom. Bigfoot lives in the hollow earth. Well, it's not so hollow. It's full of big feet. It's just a giant foot with a face. Bigfoot doesn't have enough going on to be exciting. Like, if you just replace Bigfoot with the term very hairy man, what's the difference? For real, what's the difference? Right? Like, when people think of big feet, they think of like, oh, it's like a fucking humanoid. It's smart like a man, but covered in hair. So what the hell's the difference? Oh, there's frozen time inside the hollow earth, is there? Okay. Gravity cancels out and time fucking stops and everything's hollow. That's some fun fictional stuff. But it's silly ridiculousness. Fucking hollow earth, bro. Hollow noggin. Music, so you liked Venom 3? Well, there you go. At least some people are. You're the first person that I've heard saying that they enjoyed it. Just people in the military don't lie. They can't. They're not legally able to. We all know that's true. Oh, man. We're doing that tea advent calendar. And today was, what's it called? Peppermint mocha. And Carly couldn't stand the smell. Had the teapot in the kitchen and she's like, oh, that's terrible. And I was like, what? It's like, it smells like fake chocolate. And so I took the lid off of the teapot and then I got a big blast of it in my face so I could smell because she has a way better sense of smell. And I was like, oh. And then I had like one sip of the tea and I was like, oh, It's all right. Doesn't seem too bad. And then I had one more sip of the tea, and the flavor that matched the smell settled its essence onto the entirety of my tongue and just coated the inside of my mouth, became one with me. And it was so just awful. Just awful. Nothing but regret on that one, man. Larry, you saw a story about a hairy man in grade school called Where the Sidewalk Ends? That's where the hairy man will get you, bro. Joe says, I don't remember Jules Verne putting Bigfoot in Journey to the Center of the Earth. I can't see how he'd overlook them. That's a very valid scientific point. It didn't show up in this story, so I don't know, man. I don't know. Music, you like slapstick humor? Okay, well, it's good that you enjoyed it, man. Rex, yeah, regular mint tea is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Edward, I haven't seen any of the Aliens movies with the exception of the first one that I saw when it first came out, around then, so a million years ago. I never really watched many of the Aliens films because I never really watched that many sci-fi films, and I didn't watch horror films, and Aliens is like sci-fi horror essentially. So I mostly have not ended up watching them. I just ended up choosing other things to watch. So I don't have much to say on the Alien series overall. Blueberry black tea? I haven't had that one, Rex. Not that I can recall. There's an Alien miniseries about to come out. Cool. The idea of being trapped on some kind of spaceship or space station with aliens is pretty horrifying, right? Like being on Earth, trapped on a boat out at sea where there's nowhere you can go to get help. You're just out there, right? That is a pretty rough concept. Then you take it and put it in space, and it's a completely different concept. Outside the boat, in like the sea's terms, is okay, now you're outside the boat, you're still in the water, and you can live, maybe. There's dangers in the water, but you could live theoretically. With space, outside the boat, there's no oxygen. You're just dead. It's pretty crazy. Music, you watched Red One and you slept through most of the movie. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. But I'm not surprised to hear it about that one. I might watch it because we're watching Christmas films. So we might check it out. But I expect it to be underwhelming and disappointing. How long is it? What kind of runtime does it have? Oh, 2 hours. Okay. It's got that one actor whose name I can never remember, but he was in Counterpart. Counterpart was a good show. I don't know if you guys saw it. It only made it to 2 seasons, but it was like about a parallel Earth. And the parallel Earth was connected to our Earth. And so there was essentially like a customs booth there. You would go through customs from one world to another. And the existence of the opposite worlds were kept secret. So there's 2 versions of yourself. J.K. Simmons, that's who it is. That's who it is. He's great. And that show was great. Larry, oh, they banned that book? Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know the book. Music, the movie was too long, so you watched 1 hour of it. Nothing wrong with that. Some movies are longer than they have any right to be, and I reserve the right to stop watching a movie if it's completely sucking. I'll just look at Carly and be like, how do you feel about this movie? And then she'd be like, and I'm like, because I don't like it at all. Do you want to bail? She's like, yes, let's do it. You know? Neither of us wants to, like, shit on a movie outright if the other one's enjoying it. So there's a little bit of tiptoeing around the, do you want to bail on this? You know? If one of you goes, oh, it's great. And then you don't want to be like, this sucks, shut it off. Watch 1 hour, sleep through an hour, and don't feel like you missed out on anything. No. I felt, you know what though? Falling asleep during a movie doesn't automatically mean the movie's bad, I guess. I did fall asleep during the Lord of the Rings movies in the theater. I never fell asleep watching a Lord of the Rings movie at home, but I saw the second and third one in the theater, and I fell asleep during both of them. I also fell asleep almost fell asleep when we were watching Under Siege. So it doesn't automatically mean that the movie is bad if you're falling asleep, bro. You know? So yeah, I got the feeling overall that 2024 has been light on genuinely good movies. And we've been watching movies from all over the different decades, and there's a lot of great stuff. We put together a list of what our best and worst movies are, and the worst movies I'm genuinely struggling for, because we didn't go out of our way to watch movies we knew would be bad. I specifically have been trying to pick movies that I think will probably turn out to be good, or at least all right. And all right movies don't really go on a list of bad movies, do they? They don't fit. So that was the harder part, actually. Picking out the movies that are bad. The Substance, that's on my list, I think, to check out. Yeah. Jesse, obviously nobody's going to be happy if you're sleeping in a movie theater and you're snoring, bro. That's going to be annoying. That's one of the things about being in a movie theater. Listening to other people crunching up their popcorn and all that stuff, you know, on top of the cell phones and everything else. It'd be cool to rent a movie theater and go with like a bunch of people you know. That'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good. Thompson, you like The Substance? I bet you do. I bet you're on a substance. They're going to test you for substances at your job, bro. And then they're going to fire you. You're getting fired. It's a travesty. The trailer for the animated Lord of the Rings movie looks pretty good. What animated Lord of the Rings movie? Are they making a new one? Or are you talking about the old, like... Didn't they make one in the 70s or 80s? Because if they're making a new one, I don't know anything about that. Mailmaster, that's what you were talking about yesterday? War of the Rohirrim? Rohirrim? Alright. So they're making a new Lord of the Rings animated movie. I've heard that the Lord of the Rings shows suck, though. So, is the movie being made by the same people? With the same kind of stories? I hope that it turns out to be good so that people can enjoy it. But based on how poorly the Lord of the Rings stuff's been doing lately, I have my reservations, you know? I don't know how likely it is that it'll be good. It's like you don't always want to be cynical and thinking that everything is just going to turn out the worst, right? Pessimistic, whatever, however you want to look at it. You don't always want to take that angle, but it's hard not to with a lot of things that are being made. I'm trying to think how many of the movies that I've watched that got put on the best list are like remakes or redos. There may not be any. I don't 100% know. But yeah, we need new ideas. We need fresh stuff, bro. We need fresh stuff. And if you're gonna redo things that we already know and properties we already know, then at least do something exciting with it. And the bits that I heard of the Lord of the Rings show made it sound really dumb. And I know that they destroyed the Wheel of Time, bro. So they're also making a new live action, The Hunt for Gollum, not the show people. Andy Serkis with Peter Jackson as the executive producer. All right. That might be okay. That might be all right. So the new Lord of the Rings show happens 183 years before the actual Lord of the Rings events. Okay. So they can just kind of do mostly whatever they want as long as it doesn't directly contradict leading up to what happens in the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is like Star Wars. There's so much it's a chore keeping up with all of it. Yeah. I mean, unless you're an ultra fan and want to absorb every bit of it, in which case that can be exciting, but you might not like all the stuff they're making. It explores the story of Helm Hammerhand, a legendary king of Rohan, and the origins of Helm's Deep. Might be all right, theoretically. The show only has the rights to Lord of the Rings, none of the backstory books. Okay. Fair enough. The show, it's going to be directed by the same guy who did Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. I haven't seen that one. I've only seen the first Ghost in the Shell. Larry, you think that when Gladiator 2 is available on DVD that they'll sell... Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you sell Gladiator 1 and Gladiator 2 together, bro? I'd believe it. Seems likely. Cthulhu, they're doing more Godzilla movies. Well, people liked the Godzilla -1, so bring it on. Zircon, so the story deviates from what Tolkien wrote. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, how beholden to the source material do these people making shows nowadays even consider themselves? I know with Wheel of Time, they just changed so much that it immediately felt alien to me. I was just like, okay, all right, you guys are doing something ridiculous here. It's too bad, because the original story as it was written in the books would turn out pretty well overall. It did turn out pretty well. I have no idea how it went with the show. I don't even know if it's still going, actually. I wonder how far along it's gotten now. I might hate watch it at some point. I might hate watch it for a series. Season 3. It will incorporate elements of his 4th book. All right. So yeah, Rings of Power had a bunch of like awful dialogue and apparently just a bunch of going nowhere, accomplishing nothing kind of stuff going on overall. Otto, diverging from the source material isn't a big issue for you. Just don't diverge and be terrible. Correct. I agree with that perspective. If you have a different story to tell, so be it. I want that story to be good. You know? That's the acceptable way. If you have things you want to do, cool. Make it a good story, and you've got me. The changes they made to the Wheel of Time books for the show. I mean, I can't speak to too much of it because I couldn't make it past the second episode. I watched the first episode with Carly, and then I decided maybe I was being too hard on the show, and I went back and watched the first 10 minutes of the second episode, and then I went, this is awful. Just dreadful. And I shut it off. So I haven't experienced any of the other episodes of the first season or season 2. Rex, all you've heard about the Rings of Power is bad things. Same, man. Exact same thing. I haven't heard anything positive about it. It seems to me that those kind of things can only be appreciated by people who haven't experienced better things. So if this is just their introduction to it, and it's just like, I haven't seen any of the Lord of the Rings stuff or any good fantasy stuff, and it's like, here you go, check this out. Oh, this is really cool with this and that, you know? You get the real stuff and you go, this is garbage, I don't even care. Larry, gonna play some Clock Tower Rewind? Nice, buddy, enjoy it. Gerthula, you've been watching From, and you got to season 2. It's pretty good so far. What's it about? From is not a very evocative name, right? Just on its own. Just like, for example, the show I'm watching, House. We're going into the last 2 seasons. The final episode, I said to Carly, what's the big cliffhanger episode? What are they going to do? And it was like him having to amputate a lady's leg who was trapped under a building or whatever. It's like, okay, all right. But then at the very end, they had to be like, also, this chick is going to give it a chance with him. Now Cuddy's going to take a chance. I have to know if I can be with you. I broke up with my fiance. And it's like, oh, come on, man. Come on, man. This is the kind of cheap drama I was expecting them to shove in, and they did. They did. But whatever. I'm in it to the point where I'm disappointed now, but not disappointed enough to stop watching. I've put the time in to watch the first 6 seasons, and unless it gets unbearable, I will finish it out. We will watch the last 2 seasons. But it's to the point where if it turns out those seasons don't have as many episodes, I'm not going to be feeling much in the way of disappointment. That's basically where I'm at. From is where people get stuck in this town, so once they enter, they can't leave as it loops them back, and it seems it happens randomly, and at night monsters come out and violently kill who they find. Okay, that's interesting. Did you ever see the show Carnival? About, it's like essentially like a traveling circus. And at one point they go into some town where if you don't get out by sundown or something like that, like, or if you lose your life, you get like trapped in the city forever. It's an evocative concept. That sounds all right to me. I'm going to write that one down. Clock Tower is an old Super Nintendo game. All right. I've never played that one. Rex Carnival. It's definitely not spelled that way. That show ended before it should. There were like crazy supernatural forces and all this stuff. It's like a preacher who was like aligned with dark forces. There was a bunch of interesting elements to the show. I was enjoying it, but like a lot of shows, they just end up getting canceled. If they don't appeal to enough people, they don't make it. Chrono Trigger is awesome. Chrono Trigger is one of the best Super Nintendo games ever made. Square really delivered the goods back in the day. It was always exciting when there was a new Square release. Final Fantasy, Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger, all that stuff, bro. So many dope games. So many dope memories from back in the day. Yeah, Chrono Trigger is awesome. That was the first game I ever played that had the Game Plus option. And it's like, wait, what? Yeah, you can start over with a bunch of your gear, and there'll be all these different points, little warp points, that will take you to the end boss, but at different phases of his evolution. So you can beat him as a weaker version of himself, or you can fight him as an even stronger version of the end boss. It's such a cool concept. Chrono Trigger blew my mind, bro. It blew my mind. Millmaster, you found people who worship big feet. Oh. That can't be real, dude. That can't be real. Worshipping big feet? There's no way. There's no way. That is a funny joke, though. They have a statement of faith. I just don't believe it. I'm not saying I don't believe there are people claiming it. I just don't believe the people who are claiming it actually believe it. You know what I mean? It's getting kind of cold. I'm going to close the window. Hold up. The weather doesn't allow for the window to be open as much or as long anymore, man. It's definitely getting cold. Clock Tower takes place in the mid-90s. You play as an orphan named Jennifer who's adopted along with 3 other girls by her teacher, and there's a serial killer wielding a giant pair of scissors. All right. Oh, what is that? Is it Kill la Kill or whatever? Where there's these 2 swords or something like that that become an ultimate pair of scissors. You know what happens when those church doors close. Sounds that are not made by a human. We took them to vocal analyzers. Those are definitely coming from some non-human butt mouth. Edward, yep, that's true. You can get emulators functioning on Android devices. That's true. Do they not let you do it if you're using like an Apple phone, bro? If you have an Apple phone, they won't let you use that stuff? They're more restrictive, right, with what you can put on the devices. Worshipping Bigfoot. What a ridiculous idea. Yeah, the giant hairy Bigfoot is my god. I don't know, whatever. You gotta leave him bananas and stuff. Gotta build him a campfire. He likes marshmallows being toasted. Millmaster, oh, you want to use Jess to infiltrate the Canadian branch of the Church of Sasquatch? Well, he is a believer. He is a believer. iPhone only allows apps from the App Store, and everything there has to be approved. They want a tight little sandbox for their expensive devices, right? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got no choice. I imagine that over time, Android devices will get more restrictive too, right? But for now, that's not the case. All right, my friends, thanks for coming and hanging out with me for a chill stream and chatting about movies and Big Feet and other silliness. I will catch up with you guys again soon. Goodbye for now.